Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So, as you guys know, I'm the type of person that really just goes all in, just does a million things, always doing things, always accomplishing things, always just going. And lately, I've been really feeling that I need to slow down. A lot of people keep telling me stuff like that. I met somebody, I became friends with this person, and like I was telling her some of our life story and like some of the things I've been through, and she's like, "Girl, when are you gonna learn to push some shit off your plate?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess I probably should. Like, I guess I probably should like slow down and stuff." But like, today I keep thinking about that. In the last couple of days, I've been really like, I've been having a lot of pain actually, and that's one way that I know that my body tries to get through to me, sort of, is just like getting injured. Which, as you guys know, when I injured my back several months ago, it caused me to really super duper slow down. Even still, even though that injury for the most part is recovered, I have to go way slower now. Like I keep re-injuring it, retweaking it just slightly, like where it's getting sore and stuff. So I have to go, oh wow, I'm at a spot that I like need to, take a break and stuff. And I keep taking breaks. I keep trying to be more mindful of things, but it's hard. I'm in a springtime, and on a homestead is an extremely busy time of year. Like we have ducklings right now, we have baby bunnies going on, we have more duck eggs in the incubator, we have eggs coming out of everywhere, we have baby chicks everywhere, we have Rosie who's actively right now in labor. That's why I'm sitting in the goat area. I'm on baby watch. There's a lot of things going on, and so I've been trying really hard to be more mindful of my body, to be more attentive to it, to listen to it more. I'm gonna move closer to Rosie because she's laying down. But so the other day I planted all the beans in the garden. I did all the bush beans. The last time I had filmed, I had just done all of the pole beans, but I did a 1 foot wide row of bush beans, and it's like 50 feet long. So I mean, that was a ton of squatting, kneeling, things of that nature. I'm just gonna assume that you guys would like to see Rosie. She's laying right there. Be kind of interesting if I end up catching it on camera, like her trying to have a baby. But so my knees were tapped out. So yesterday I then decided to take the day off, to not do projects, to really just allow my body to rest and to recover, because like I keep thinking about the fact that I need to slow down, like that I'm getting sad because I'm running out of projects to do here. But I'm still working at things at a rapid pace, trying to get things done, because it's bothering me that things aren't done, that things aren't perfect. They aren't how I envision them, how I want them to be. Kind of scared me. Like the rooster just started like flapping and it startled me. You're okay, Rosie. She's over there wagging her tail like crazy. But so anyways, I took the day off yesterday, allowed myself to really rest and recharge, and I did a lot of just self-healing and stuff, and like inner work and things of that nature, of just self-care, of just relaxing, just trying to be still. So then last night I was, do you mind, sir? I'm trying to film a very important YouTube video here that might help people. You don't care. Guess I'll move again. But so last night I got to thinking, and I was like, man, it's not supposed to rain today. Sure, it's going to be hot and it's going to be muggy and I'm going to be all sweaty and grumpy and stuff from being all hot and everything. I don't like getting hot. But I was like, I'm going to be able to get so much stuff done, and I'm just going to really be able to go like balls to the wall and just do a ton of like yard work and all sorts of other work, and get painting done, do stuff in the house and plant the rest of the garden and doing all this stuff. Okay. I was thinking about all that as I'm locking up the animals last night. And Lucky pretty much just decided that he was going to escape the barn. As I was like trying to shut the gate and all this stuff, he just took off right beside me. And for those of you wondering, Lucky is a very, very heavy Nigerian dwarf goat. I'm assuming he's not a purebred, because he is probably close to 100 pounds. Okay. I weigh about 135, 140. So I don't outweigh him by very much. So I out of instinct, I just went to grab for his collar, like I normally do with him. I wasn't thinking anything of the fact, she's really moving a lot. I wasn't thinking about the fact that he was running or anything of the sort like that. I was just like trying to grab onto him like I do all the smaller goats. And he just kept on running. And I went down and I scraped the living daylights out of my knee. I've got like some road rash going on, or barn rash. I don't know what you'd call it. I mean, the barn floor is concrete, and Like, I went down hard and he drug me out of the barn. I hit my face. There's like a mark right there. I hit my face on the barn door and stuff. I got a scrape on my arm, which you guys probably can't see. But yeah, and now my knee is pretty sore again. It was feeling pretty good, like the joints were feeling good, but now because of the skin being so tight right there, and it's all pretty well swelled up, I'm like, okay, taking today easy. So earlier I went for a little bit of a walk in the woods, because I thought that I had heard a tree falling, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't anything on our property, because a couple storms ago, the big dead tree that's been standing behind the goat pasture, it finally fell over, but it's obviously caught up in another tree. I don't have the skill sets or anything big enough to drag this out, so I can't really take care of it. So I wanted to check and make sure that nothing else fell. So as I'm up there, then the goats were down here. Oh, Lucky found my water bottle. Turning you guys around. Caught you, Lucky. Caught you red-handed, buddy. As you guys can see, he's a pretty big boy. But so I was out in the woods. I didn't see anything that fell. It wasn't on our property. It wasn't close by on the neighboring properties. But while I was out there, the goats started running around. They had the zoomies like crazy. Well, everybody except for Rosie right there. And Lucky was just like ecstatic. The goats love it whenever there's new babies. They pretty much just go bananas. So they all had the zoomies and were running around. And I'm like, what is going on in there? So I went in to check on everybody, and it became very obvious to me that Rosie was, kind of getting there and stuff. And the goats were just all super excited. Huh? Do you even feel bad for dragging me? I don't think he does. But so, yeah, I'm kind of curious because a couple years ago, it was actually right before we bought this house. It was actually the day our house came on the market. We had Star giving birth, and she prolapsed her uterus. And I felt really strongly that somehow she was helping us get our farm. So I had actually asked the vet when the vet was out if maybe they had known of a property that was for sale. And ironically, they talked about a yellow house, a really ugly yellow house that was on the market that they had seen, but it was way out of our price point. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to move to that area. It's also way more than we want to spend. Like, we want to try to do this whole thing with just cash, not debt. But I had felt very strongly that something to do with Star in that whole process was going to somehow birth forth our farm. And that evening was when our farm came on the market. We came and looked at it in the dark with flashlights, as you guys know. And there was this huge star on the one wall in our son's room. Somebody had taken like thumbtacks and made this huge, it's like a 5-foot star. And I felt, oh my God, like this is like such a huge sign. Like something's going on with Star. I had felt very strongly that somehow this was helping us get our farm and all this stuff. And then when we went home, Star had prolapsed her uterus and ended up subsequently having to be put down. So that was pretty much gut-wrenching. It was like a huge punch in the gut. And then I had to end up bottle feeding Ferdinand, her son, which also caused me to super duper slow down, which made it very difficult to move in here. And it kept pulling me back and forcing me to have to stop, because with bottle baby goats, pretty much they're like having a newborn baby. They scream and they sound just like a baby. Everything is very much just like a baby. I think that's why they're called goat kids, because they literally sound like a crying baby. And I have a lot of weird stuff that has happened to me in my life. So I have a lot of like motherhood wounds and stuff. So, it was very healing for me to have to take care of Ferdinand and to nurse him and all this stuff. Well, obviously I wasn't using my parts to nurse, but, to bottle feed him. And it was very healing for me, honestly. But it made me slow down. It made it so that way I couldn't get things done as fast as I had initially wanted to here, because every 2 hours I had to leave and go back to the camper so that way I could feed him and take care of him and let him go outside and go potty. And then, it was this whole big debacle of juggling like 500,000 things all at the same time. Hello, Lucky. Hello. You're such a handsome boy. Even though I'm mad at you, I still love you. Our animals are so spoiled. But so, yeah, I'm thinking because I have not been doing my best. I've been trying kind of half-heartedly to slow down and to try to like pull back my energy and pare back. That's part of why I did not do a huge garden this year, besides to, having to start a whole new one on our same property and all this stuff. I feel really strongly that I need to pare back and to pull back and not do as much, and that I wouldn't have time to do as much. I need to slow down. And Yeah, long story short, I'm almost betting you that Rosie's going to have more babies than she can handle. Last year she had 3, they all did not make it. I'm guessing that she's probably got 4 inside of there. And a lot of times, if there's that many, the mamas cannot take care of them completely. Um, so, yeah, I'm kind of betting that this is going to be my hey, you really got to slow it down, Linz. You really, really got to go slow. So, yeah, I would say big changes are coming because, I'd love to say that. I'd love to be like, yeah, next I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I, get all jazzed and fired up. But honestly, I think the biggest change that's coming is that I need to really just sort of go extremely slowly, to go slower, to go forward slowly instead of just rushing ahead like the world feels like it's pulling me to do. It just keeps feeling like time is speeding up. I mean, for God's sakes, we're already in the middle of May and it doesn't seem possible. It seems like we just had the ground finally thawed. Like it's weird. But yeah, it's just, at this point I'm rambling because I'm nervous and I'm going to go check on Rosie. So I'm going to cut this off here. So then that way I can be close with her without having her get startled. I tried filming earlier while she was in a little hay hut thing, and me talking actually got her really worked up, so she moved. So I don't want to disturb her too much. So anyways, say a little prayer, cross your fingers, send some energy my way, and Rosie's way, that this goes off smoothly, and that there's no interventions needed on my part. I'm going to do my best to just observe and be here for her if she needs help, but I would really like to see if she's able to do the whole mothering thing on her own. Last year we had to intervene quite a bit because of the babies being stillborn. They're so freaking cute. I absolutely love our animals, but yeah, so kind of nervous, hoping it goes fine, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. So anyways, leave in the comment section below how many babies you guys think she might have, because I posted a picture of her several days ago on our Facebook page, to take bets. Obviously there's no money involved, there's no anything involved, just bragging rights of who guessed right. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a sight of her so that way you guys have a good visual. So she is quite wide, aren't you, girlfriend? I know you're miserable, huh? Like, get that dang camera out of my face. This is my private moment. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.